So we are calling one of KK's friends up. She doesn't know her super well, but she knows her better than I do. And so that's going to give me a little bit more insight into who she is.
Party is reached. Hello?
Yes,
Yeah, is this Dad?
this is Dad with a phone, yes.
Hey, I'm nervous. I finally get to talk to you.
No, don't be nervous. So just kind of tell me again what you kind of texted me. I mean, I know you shared that with me, but tell me how you kind of know KK.
I know KK. I met KK back in 2009 when I started dating a friend of mine from high school. He was roommates with Chad, which is Krystal's ex. They lived together in a farmhouse way out in the middle of Murtaugh, Idaho.
Okay.
And Krystal was dating Chad at the time. They had met. Chad was looking for someone to train one of his horses and had met Krystal because she trained horses there in Murtaugh. And that's how they met. And I remember him one time saying, looks-wise, she's really not my type, but she's so charismatic. And that was the thing with Krystal was she was just fun to be around. She was constantly laughing. Everyone was her friend. Like, everyone wanted to be her friend. She was just that type of a person. Like, she just drew you in. So they dated for probably about a year, and then they got married. I believe it was the summer 2011, 10 or 11. I can't remember.
Okay.
And so we went to the wedding. It was a wedding out in the middle of the country wedding. I remember her wedding pictures were like, it was harvest time, so there was like cornfields in the background, that kind of a setting. And then I kind of fell away from actually physically seeing her in about 2012, but we remained friends on Facebook up until she deleted her accounts.
So just recently?
Just recently, yeah. And I remember when they said a nurse from Twin Falls, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm wondering if Krystal knows her. Like, does Krystal know this nurse? Because I knew Krystal worked at Twin Falls, the Twin Falls St. Luke's. And so I was actually getting ready to contact Krystal to see if she knew who this nurse was. And it came out about the same time that it was actually her. And I remember just sitting in my room, just like in complete shock for probably about, 3 or 4 days. Like, I couldn't even process it. Could not even process it.
Yeah, so like, I mean, for all intensive purposes, if what she's telling us is true, she's a part of a murder.
Oh, I absolutely. In fact, I was just messaging Jenny when you called me, and I was discussing this with her, and I didn't pick up that Krystal was like a jealous type when I knew her. Like, she was really into Chad. They had a really good relationship for what I knew of. I know that their relationship obviously went south, and I think that was because she was still in love with Patrick, even through her marriage. I think she was. I think there was such a distance between the two of them that she settled for Chad because she really didn't think that Patrick, was an option being so far away. And I believe that Krystal masterminded this. I honestly do. And I think Ellie completely got this wrong. Completely got all of this wrong.
So do you know like the lawyers? I know it's a small community. Do you know like the lawyers that talk to her or any of the other friends?
I know of the lawyers. I don't know them personally. I know they are actually having a really hard time right now. This is a small community town that we grew up in. It's like a small niche town. Like, everybody knows everybody. The rodeo circuit was a huge deal there. I have a cousin that was friends with Krystal, that was on the rodeo circuit with her. And then also, I don't know if you remember the interview that Laura Stutzman did, but she was the one that was sticking up for KK.
Yeah.
Okay, so her daughter, Hallie Stutzman, was really good friends with Krystal also, and so was my cousin.
Okay.
And I think that they would probably all say the exact same thing that I'm telling you. Like, this is just blindsided the whole community here, all of her friends, all of her family, and I think really everyone's still just trying to process all of this.
Yeah. Have you heard anything? Is Krystal back there? Has anyone seen her? Anyone talked about that?
No one has seen her. I have. My cousin has driven by her house a few times. Her car has not been there. The rumor has it is that Chad is not letting her stay there. So no one knows where Krystal is right now.
And there's some rumors that Krystal may be pregnant. Is there anything you know about that?
The rumors down here are the same. Everyone down here is saying they think she is too, and that was her motive for killing Kelsey.
So you think
that's truly what this community believes right now. The ones that have actually now processed it and realized like what has happened here, like it's the only thing that makes sense. It's the only thing that makes sense because Krystal had more of a motive than Patrick did, in everyone's opinion.
Yeah. In a sense, especially now, do you think she's pregnant with Chad's baby, or have they been broke up?
They have been divorced for 2 years, since 2016, but they have been living together. They have acreage and a farmhouse, and I think that they chose to co-parent together with their kids, is what I heard from one of her friends. And they were just making it work. Like Chad was dating, other girls, and they were basically doing their own things, just living together. Because they do have 2 small kids. They have a little girl and a little boy. Okay. And they are just choosing to go about it that way.
So in what you know, Chad isn't like supporting her right now?
Oh, absolutely not. No.
Okay.
No, from what I've heard, no. He's not even allowing her to stay there at the time. And I think partly because, like I said, it's a small community, and from what I heard, Chad is fearful to even go places because people are blaming him for not coming forward with information. And I honestly believe that Chad didn't know anything. I think that Krystal was keeping all of this from him and lying to him. But, when you live in a small community, you know how that goes.
Yeah.
How
many people are in that community?
Where they live, I think Murtaugh, I would say probably tops maybe 1,500.
Oh, so it's a real small town.
No, it's teeny tiny. I mean, the school here or there, I used to live down there, but the school there, grades K through 12 are all, grades K through 8 are at one school, and then 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th are at another school. And they're just little tiny buildings. Like this, it's a small community. Where Krystal worked in Twin Falls is a little bit bigger, and it's about a 35-minute drive from Murtaugh.
Okay. Yeah, I've been to Twin Falls. I know that little area.
Yeah, and it's bigger. It's quite a bit bigger. There's a bunch of little small surrounding communities down there, Murtaugh being one of them, and that's where KK lives.
So since this has all gone down and stuff, is there anything that's like come to you like, oh, that makes more sense now, or like, oh, I understand the way she acted? But would you ever have thought she would be involved in like a murder, and especially like a gruesome murder like this?
No, in fact, when this first came out, I was like, oh my gosh, somebody's framing her. Like, somebody has got to be framing her. There's no way in a million years Krystal would ever do any of this. She was an amazing nurse. Graduated top in her class. Like, everyone loved her. But now that I look back on it, I didn't know the relationship between the two of her and Patrick had started back in high school. Like, I didn't know that part.
Okay.
And so now that I look back on it, I think that, and I don't want this to come across as being like really mean or crude, but the rodeo community is one that you have a bunch of cute little skinny girls or your rodeo queens, and that's kind of what they're based off of. Krystal really didn't fit that profile as far as, like, she was always a little bit heavier. Not bad back then, but she was heavier. And I mean, I just don't think I think she always felt like she was the outcast as far as the rodeo group went, kind of like the black sheep, if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And I think that caused a lot of jealousy early on in her life as not being, I don't want to say as attractive, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, I understand. So she just had some insecurities and stuff like that around her.
Right. Some insecurities, and I think that kind of just overflowed in her life from one relationship to the next. And I think that she was so obsessed with Patrick. And when Patrick had this teeny tiny little cute darling fiance that just was a ray of sunshine, everyone can tell from her photos, like, she was a ray of sunshine. And I think Krystal was jealous of that. I know when I knew her, she was always constantly on a diet. She was trying to lose weight. Like, she wanted to be that so bad, but it was just never obtainable for her for whatever reasons, I don't know. And I think Krystal was jealous of that. I honestly do.
Yeah. Well, hey, do you think your cousins that knew her a little bit better would talk to me?
They were there, you know.
Yeah, they were saw them around each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, if you would, I mean, you obviously are on social media, and if you've been talking to Jenny, you know what I'm all about and stuff, but I would really I thank you for talking to me a little bit. You've given even a little bit of insight into Krystal more than anyone else can. But if there's someone that wants to speak out for Krystal, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, if you want to send them a message, and you can get a hold of me via Facebook and let me know if they're willing to talk. That would be it would be good. People want to hear that. People want to hear both sides of everything. They want to hear about Krystal. They want to hear about Patrick. They want to hear about Kelsey. It's a weird deal down here because it's such a spread out kind of case where there's stuff in Idaho, there's people in Oregon, there's people here in Colorado. So that would be awesome.
Yeah, I'd definitely get a hold of them. I know that they were super close with her, and I don't know if they have... I can message my cousin and see. She would know if she was on the fence or not about this. I know that a lot of them are still trying to process it, and it's been devastating down here too to learn this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll definitely message them and see if they would be willing to talk.
Yeah.
And give you some more insight.
That would be awesome. Well, thank you for your short time this morning at least, and thanks for at least reaching out to Jenny and talking to her too.
Oh, you're welcome. I appreciate what you guys are doing so much. I know I'm in school right now. I'm going to nurse practitioner school, and so I'm really busy with classes a lot, but I do pop on whenever I can, and I do. I appreciate all of you, your wife, your beautiful family. I love Jenny. They did an amazing job at court that day.
Yes, they did.
I just want you to know that you have support from Idaho, and I seriously am honored to even know you. So thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you again for talking to me.